Hey there. My name? Well, you don't need to know my name. All you need to know is that I'm gonna be your coach in this, man. This is the game playbook. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be basically what I've compiled, what I've learned for the past like 7 months from over 2 dating courses that I've taken. I've read over 85, books from, conversationalism to confidence to seduction to pickup artistry, all that good stuff, right? Basically, it's all kind of mixed in with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's just that there's too many vagueness to it. That was my theme. So I really wanted to just make something that was 100% practical. If you watched one of my videos, you could go out and you could say what you needed to, spark up conversation, and it would be simple enough, and it would be easy enough, and it will change your life. Just like plays in the NFL, Seahawks ain't the Packers, and Falcons ain't the Panthers, you know what I'm saying? Every team is different, every girl is different. You go up there with the same line, they're gonna say, nah, I'm good, or that was pretty smooth. What's your name? You know what I'm saying? So this year in the grind in 2025 for me, one of my goals, my New Year's resolution, my passion project, you could say, is this YouTube channel, but also to ask out 100 women. 100 for the whole year, you know what I'm saying? And there's gonna be rejections, sure, I'm counting on it. Rejections are just redirections into a new opportunity, If she rejected you, you're just saving yourself a bunch of time and a bunch of money that you don't need to spend on somebody that's just not that interested in you. So that works for me, honestly, you know what I'm saying? So, that's how it's gonna work, Ask out 2 per week for the whole year. I don't think this is that bad of a goal, honestly. And through that whole year, there's gonna be like podcasts I'm gonna be doing, tips and tricks I'm gonna be showing. Also a lot of infield I'm gonna try, or at least infield updates. Maybe do like audio recordings, or try to get somebody to record the video somehow. Would be good. I really just, would like to have a girlfriend. I've never had one in my life before. Probably due to a lack of not trying. So I want to change that. It's not like I have not dated in the past, because I have. Last year I dated like 5 different girls. Problem with me is that like 2 of them went out of the state, 2 of them went to a college far away in the state, and the other one we just not compatible. But hopefully when you ask 100 girls out, see if we can make something happen. You can also help everybody else out. So that way when a guy comes up to you, yo man, there's this girl, she's bad, bro, but I don't know what to go up and say. It's like, yo man, check it. You're gonna say this one line and then just roll off the authenticity of having a conversation. He's gonna say, that easy? That easy. A lot of books and the videos that I've read, they all just trying to overcomplicate things, The thing with the dating is that it is simple, but it's not easy. So let's keep it simple. It's like that one improvement guy said, keep it simple, stupid. However, I will say that I have come across some very cool books, from last year. Some of my favorites were Dating Sucks But You Don't by Connell, What Women Want by Tucker Max, How to Not Die Alone by Logan Ury, Flirtology by Jean Smith, I think her name is. That's a pretty good book. Recommend that one. There's a couple others that I'll put down in the description that are pretty good ones. And my book, the game playbook, the name of this channel and the name of my book. And then one of my favorites, just because it was a pure parody, just a pure comedy, From Hey to Lay in 7 steps. Like, bruh. Personally, I don't do hookups, If I was gonna like be having that kind of thing, then I would definitely have it in like a long-term relationship. I don't do hookups. I don't do flings. That's weird, man. If you want to do it, more power to you. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to show you how to get results. What you do with those results, is whatever. But I mean, for me, it's just like all about genuineness and authenticity. You know what I'm saying? It's because if the thing about seduction and the pickup is that they all trying to like coerce and seduct, which is what it is, to get what they want. But if you try to build a relationship off manipulation, then it's not that good of a relationship, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just keep it authentic, Keep it genuine. Keep it respectful, you know what I'm saying? If a girl says no, off a cold approach or, off something, and she's like, nah, I'm good, then just walk away, bro. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good look. It kind of comes off as like kind of creepy if you try to persist. And she's like, yo, you're kind of cute. Can I get your number? She's like, nah, I'm good. And you're like, come on, please give me your number. I really want to get, come on, give me your number. And she's like, no, you're kind of creepy. Give me your number. And the next thing you know, you get a false accusation. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. So, yeah. Don't want that. But that is a good point. Some people might say, why are you doing this challenge, man? You trying to get harassment or whatever? You trying to catch charges? Nah, I'm just doing this for fun. And because it would be kind of cool to have a girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? And another thing is, like, I live in the Northwest, not from the coast. So I'm not in New York, LA, or Miami where things are crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm from like a town of less than, 1 million people. Like, there's still a lot of people here, but they're mostly kind of cool people, you know what I'm saying? They're not really gonna do, I mean, they could. Everybody's different. Girls ain't a monolith, that's what I'm saying. Some of the other challenges that could come from this challenge, though, is if I get too many yeses going, it could happen. But I don't want to be 5-timing because that sounds like a lot of work. And I don't want to do that. So, I think I'm just going to, like, try to lock in on, like, a 2 or 3 rotation. And then just work with those 2 or 3 until either they friend zone me or they nice guy zone me. Oh, he's just too nice. I mean, it is one of my faults in those days. I am a nice dude. I may not show it authentically on the camera, but in real life, I'm a nice dude. I literally have been, you're too nice. You're a nice guy. I have been put in that zone before, so I think it's safe to say, from a real girl's perspective, that I'm a nice dude. So I got that to work with. It ain't bad. Finances, dates can be expensive. I'm going to try to keep it low cost, low risk. So scheduling could be another thing. I am a part-time student and I have a part-time job, and so trying to fit dates in there might be interesting. Also, if I do them on a rotation and all 3 girls want to go out on the same weekend or the same day or the same event, bro, that would be crazy, dog. That would be crazy. They're like, hey, you want to go to the fair this Friday? Sure. And then the next one, hey, you want to go to the fair this Friday? Oh, man. It's like, nah. And then she sees you with somebody else, bro. It's crazy, dog. Nah, you just got to be upfront and honest with them. Hey, I'm going with somebody else. I'm going with a friend. You friend zone the person that... Nah, it just gets into a mess, That's why you got to keep it low. You try dating too many, and it's just way too much drama. Another part of the challenge could be a lot of rejection. I don't plan on getting rejected, like, every single time. But if I did, I wouldn't hold it against myself, I'm a good dude, I got my life somewhat put together. And so if they reject me, it just could be for a plethora of reasons, you know what I'm saying? They could be in a relationship. They may have just got out of a relationship. They may have just gotten evicted that day, you know what I'm saying? And you walk up to them, hey, compliment opener, what's your name? And they're like, hey, listen, I just don't want to talk today. And you're like, oh, okay. It wasn't on you. It wasn't because you didn't have your hair in the exact right way. It was because she got evicted, bro, but she didn't want to tell you her whole life story because you're a stranger off cold approach. You know what I'm saying? So don't be tripping, man. Also, like, if they do reject you, like, what do you got to lose, man? If you go up there and say hi and she rejects you and you walk back right exactly to where you were before that happened 20 seconds ago, better off. But I will say it is better to have rejection over regret, because last year there was a few times where I would just want to go and approach someone, but I wouldn't because I didn't know what to say, or because I just couldn't overcome the approach anxiety on that. I have gotten better. I have gotten a lot better. And the thing is that like it's a lot of overthinking. You know, if you don't say it this exact way or you don't say this exact line, she's not gonna be that interested in you. Honestly, if you go up and say hi, you're gonna be doing better than a lot of other dudes. I mean, literally, there was one time me and a friend of mine were chilling at this one barbecue event, right? And there was this pretty attractive woman there, right? Just like a little ways off. And so we were talking to ourselves, you know, and we were like, I wonder if there's going to be any guys at this barbecue that are going to approach. It was a big event. There was like about 200 people at this barbecue event. It was like a college type of thing. And so we were watching, and a guy would like come up, and then he would veer around, or like he'd be coming up the other way, and then not do it. And we were like, oh, disappointment. There's like a statistic that says like only like 70% of men have approached a woman and only 50% of men have approached one in the past year. I don't know where they're getting their statistics from or what demographic they're getting those statistics from, but they might have some truth in that, you know? But I got better at it. You know, one of the ways that I did get better at it was I realized that I felt like I would be bothering them. So how do you not bother someone by approaching them? Give them a compliment. You know, give them something that's beyond the surface level, you know, something that they had to put thought or effort into. Like if they got a nice hairstyle that they can go, hey, I thought your hair was cool, and they're like, oh, thank you. Like, yeah, use that one a couple times. Nice outfit today, and they're like, oh, thank you, you know. That's a cool tattoo, and they'd be like, oh, thanks. Use that one a couple times. So I do have experience in this. And I spent a lot of time on the knowledge, less on the practical. This year is going to be more about the practical and less on the knowledgeable aspect of it. And that's one of the main approaches you can do as a compliment opener. You can run off of the superficials, and that is one thing that I want to try, is just like the surface level. It's just like going to like a mall one day and then just go up to any like cute girl that I see and say, hey, I thought you were cute. Can I get your number? No name, no introduction, no checking for availability. Not even a get to know you question, but just an opener and a closer. Let's see what happens. Make it a game. How many times can I get rejected in one day? It's bragging around. There was, yo, man, I'll tell you, brother, I got rejected one time. Like, one day, like, 25 times. You're working about one rejection. The thing with rejection is you get used to it the more that you do it. It's like an exposure to therapy type thing. Now, there are going to be rules for this Ask 100 challenge. As I mentioned at the start of the video, 100 women in 1 year, which is about 2 per week that I'm going to be asking her. However, there are some rules for this. And the rules for this is that I'm only going to approach if she's not working. Because hitting on someone that's working, that's being paid to be nice to you. I have given my number to a barista one time. She had a boyfriend though. But I didn't like ask for her number. If you want to give your number to somebody that's working, you can do it, but I wouldn't go up and try to like full on cold approach somebody that's at work. Also, if they're with a dude, I'm not going to make that approach. Unless they are just like sitting next to a dude and they look bored and uninterested and they're not actually talking to the dude, which I have seen at like a club a couple times. I have seen that happen. Although they were married when I approached them, so that was a thing. Me and my wingman went up there. I was like, hey, can we buy you 2 girls a drink? And they're like, oh, sorry, we're married. And we're like, okay, just spent that dude spent $30 on drinks for married women. Huh? That's why I stopped going to the club. Don't try to meet your future spouse in a club. If you meet your future spouse in a club, that's probably where you're going to leave them to. I'm just saying. You don't really go to bars and clubs to find long-term relationships. I've had people in bars and clubs tell me that. Also, they're just not, I mean, I ran a spreadsheet on like the top 50 places to cold approach, and bars and clubs ranked like 15th. And mainly it's just because you're not going to find like long-term relationships there. If you're into hookups, sure, they're good for that. I'm not. I'd rather find a long-term relationship. So bars and clubs ain't good for that. Also, they are so dang loud. I mean, you have to say your opener like 3 times or something just for them to understand what you're saying. And then if you have a name that you can't hear over like blaringly loud music, they're not even gonna know your name, bro. So I'm like 15th. I'm gonna try to stick to places where conversations can happen more naturally. There's some other places that would be fun to approach someone though. Like Target, I've heard that one's pretty good. Home Depot. That'd be kind of good. I've thought about Costco, but that one's a little bit more tricky because you have to have a membership to get in, and most of the time, you know, they don't. Now, for this challenge, I will be keeping an active spreadsheet and an Excel spreadsheet to record personalized stats for each interaction. Like how I went, what I learned, why I got rejected, why I got accepted, where it was, what time of day it was. So that way, after this S100 challenge is done, I can give a person accurate stats on the best place to go and the best time to go. So why 100, you know? And the answer to that question is that there was this guy, and I'll put a video to the link down below in the description, but he had the same goal. You know, his goal was to ask 100 women out on a date, and he did. And it was like inspirational to me, man. I was like, you know, I want to do the same thing, you know, because I don't like being a sideline player to the game of life. You know what I'm saying? I like going out there and being an active participant in the game. You know what I'm saying? Come back to the game playbook. Hey. Mostly cold approaches, you know. Do warm approaches if you can. Do cold approaches if you must. Do online dating if you just want to try it and experience not only getting 2 matches in 4 months. Yeah, or more. If that's what you want. However, if you want to get ahead of like the 5,000 dudes that she's got off of Hinge or whatever, then you go and approach them in person, man. You literally physically put them in a situation where you can ask them a question and get a response right away. So that's cool. It'll be a good year. We'll see how far this thing goes. And the reason why I'm recording in the car is because this year we're going places. We're going to be going to all kinds of places, approaching women of all kinds and all types of places, you know? So let's put this car in drive. Let's head out there. Let's have some fun. Let's get in the game.